I'm done at 6 o'clock because we do so much. See, if you look at the road, yeah, I told him, I said, we don't have
a Alright, first thing we've got to look at here on our division, we're going to do just a polynomial. This first one's a trinomial divided by a monomial. So if I have 10x squared minus 25x plus 35, and I'm dividing that by 5. Okay, now this is the easy stuff. We're going to get into somewhere it's like a polynomial divided by a polynomial, or we're going to use long division or synthetic division. But when we're just dividing by one term, all we're going to do is take that one term, divide it by each individual term on the numerator. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to say, what's 10x squared divided by 5? Well, that's 2x squared. What's negative 25x divided by 5? Well, that's negative 5x. What's 35 divided by 5? That's positive 7. So that's all you would have to do on that. Okay? Pretty simple ones like that. Same thing when it's got a variable with the denominator. Let's look at one of those. 4x to the 4th minus 7x cubed plus 12x squared. We're going to divide that by 4x cubed. Okay, same thing. This one's going to be a little bit different because it doesn't all go into it evenly and because it's got the variable. But still going to do the same thing, divide each term by 4x cubed. So when I do here, 4x cubed divided by 4x to the 4th, 4 divided by 4 is 1, so that cancels out. What happens with your powers on division? Subtract. So 4 minus 3 on those x's makes x to the 1st. Yep, x to the 1st or just x. Now here, 7 and 4, 4 doesn't go into 7 evenly. So I'm just going to leave that as 7/4. Okay, what about x cubed divided by x cubed? Cancels. That's just 1. Very good. So that's gone. Okay, now on this piece, 12 divided by 4, that goes evenly. That's a positive 3. But then x squared over x cubed. It's x to the negative 1. And what do you do when you have a negative exponent? Other way. Put it on bottom, make it positive. So x will go on bottom. Okay, so that'd be your answer. Funny looking, but your answer.
So the exponent is a negative, that makes it.
Yep. Yep. Alright, let's do one more of those before we move to the next phase. We need to slow down.
No, I understand this stuff. It's when we get to the long division.
We're going there today. 6a squared b to the 4th, you're going to get it today, minus 9a cubed b to the 3rd plus 4a cubed b to the 4th. All divided by a cubed b to the 4th. Oh, this is easy, Louise. Alright, same thing, we're just dividing by a monomial. The monomial has 2 variables in it, but it's still just a monomial. So we're going to divide each term individually by that. So the coefficient on our denominator down here, it's like an understood 1. So 6 on 1, that just stays 6. Alright, now on your a's, 2 minus 3 is negative 1. So that means the a needs to go on top or bottom? Bottom, good. It's a negative, we put it on bottom. So it's a to the 1st on bottom. Now to my b's. B to the 4th divided by b to the 4th. 4 minus 4 is 0. What's b to the 0? 1. So that's gone. Okay? So kind of drew my line big on that. I don't want it that big. There we go. Alright. Here 9 divided by, it's a negative 9 divided by 1 is a negative 9. A cubed divided by a cubed. That's 1. Good. B cubed divided by b to the 4th. 3 minus 4 is negative 1, so that b needs to go on bottom. Good job. Okay, then here, 4 divided by 1 is a 4. Hey, look at those variables. A cubed and a cubed cancels, b to the 4th and b to the 4th cancels, so all you got there is just a 4. So that is your answer.
That looks so complicated.
It does. My answer looks goofy too to me, but it's right. Alright, now let's do divide by binomial. Two things on the denominator. So we've got 2k squared plus 17k plus 30. And we're going to divide that dude by k plus 6. Alright, now we're dividing by that whole thing on the bottom. So I can't just go divide each piece by k and then go divide each piece by 6 because that's a whole piece. K plus 6, you can't pick that apart. So we've got options and we're going to look at doing it both ways on how to divide that. First way we're going to review over is long division. Second way is synthetic division. Okay, pros and cons to both of those. Synthetic division is my favorite. It's easier in my opinion, but it doesn't work on everything. Long division works on everything, but it's longer and I don't like it as much. So there's pros and cons on both of them. To do long division, we're going to do just like we were when we were taught. We're going to put the bottom outside the box, the top inside the box. Now, I wasn't missing any powers on this one. Okay, what I'm talking about here, this went to the second to the first constant. If you're ever missing one, like if I'd had a third, second, and a not a constant, I'd have to put a 0 in that spot. Remember that from last year? If we're missing one, we put a 0 in. So we weren't missing anything there, so we're good to go on that. Now, real simple to start. We look at our first thing outside the box. K times what makes the first thing inside the box? So K times what would get me a 2K squared? It's got to have a 2 in it, right? To get that 2K. What else does it got to have to go from a K to a K squared? Okay. So I put a 2K up there on the top. Now that 2K that we put on the top, we have to distribute it to everything outside the box. So 2K times K. 2K squared, good. 2K times 6, bless you, is 12K. Okay, then we get to draw our line and subtract. 2K squared minus 2 squared with nothing. 17K minus 12K is 5K. Alright, now, this one, it's a no-brainer. You know we're just going to drop down that plus 30 because that's the only thing still over there. But the rule is when you drop stuff down, because sometimes there'll be more than one thing and people will want to drop everything down at the same time, you can only have as much down here as you have out here. Okay, I got a K and a 6, I got 2 terms, so I can only have 2 terms here, which it's the only way it could be on this problem since 30 is the only thing left to drop down. But if there had been other stuff, you would just drop down the same amount. Does that make sense? Since there's 2 terms out here, you can only drop down enough to have 2 terms down here. If there had been like something else here, I wouldn't drop it down yet because I can only have the same number that I have out here.
What if you had that 5K and then there was a variable of 30? Would you still drop it down?
Okay. Alright, now that beginning process that we did when we said K times what is 2K squared, now we're looking for K times what is 5K. 5, so we put a plus 5 up there. Now we distribute the 5 to both pieces. 5 times K is 5K. 5 times 6 is a positive 30. Subtract. This one went into it evenly. It didn't have anything left over. So our answer is what we got up there on the top of our roof. 2K squared plus 17K plus 30 divided by K plus 6 is 2K plus 5.
See, okay, I understand that one.
Don't get extra.
Oh, slow down, hot rod. Gotta get there a little bit at a time.
I was stressing so much about anatomy last night, I was crying.
I felt like
For
every
real
time.
crying. And Bailey was like, it's okay, and like got his finger and was like drawing bones off the leg and stuff. I was like, because I'm a visual learner and I couldn't, like she was trying to tell me and I was like, I don't know. Wait, why'd you learn that?
Okay, we're going to do that same problem now using synthetic division.
Do it.
17, what was it? 17, 30, thank you.
Which ones would the synthetic not work on?
I'm fixing to tell you. Thank you. Alright, deal on synthetic division, what Austin was just asking about. We can only use synthetic division when the variable that we're dividing by, the degree that we're dividing by, is a 1. Everyone talked about degrees a couple weeks ago. That's the highest power, so k plus 6, that's a k to the first, understood, right? So I can only do that, synthetic division, when it's a first power. I can do it if the coefficient, like this would have been 2k plus 6, I could do that, but it's more difficult. So when I do synthetic division is when it's a 1x to the first, whatever variable, a 1k to the first. Alright, so that's your synthetic division. Now, good thing about synthetic division is it only involves numbers. You don't have to mess with the variables. So I'm going to take just the coefficients. My box goes upside down. 2, leave a little bit of space between the coefficients in your box. 2k squared, 17k, and 30. If you're missing one, you got to put a 0. Now here's where people mess up. What do you put outside the box? Okay, you got to take that k plus 6 that you're dividing by. That's a factor. So you set that equal to 0 and solve. It's a negative 6 that goes outside your box. Okay? Now, the division goes easy from here because all you do is multiply, add, multiply, add. I'm going to drop this 2 down. That's how you got to get started somehow. So you drop the first number down all the way to below the box. Now you multiply what's outside. So 2 times negative 6 is negative 12. Put that underneath the next number. And then you add. 17 and negative 12 is 5. Now you got a new number to multiply. 5 times negative 6 is negative 30. And then you add 30 and negative 30 is 0. So that you did your division there, but then the question is, well, how do you get your answer? Okay? You started with a 2k squared and you divided a k. So if this was k squared and you divided a k, your answer's got to be 2 minus 1. It's got to be a k to the first, right? So that means my first number here is 2k to the first. It's always going to be 1 power less than what you started with. So this is 2k to the first. After k to the first is your constant. The last one's always your remainder. We didn't have a remainder on this one. So that is just 2k from that, and my constant plus 5. It's the same answer you got doing long division.
Alright, I think I should just do this.
It's not bad.
Never learned how to do it.
Alright, going to do another one, and we'll do it both ways also, just so you can keep experimenting and see which way you're going to be better with. I got what you need on that one? Alright, this one I've got 4x cubed plus 3x minus 8. And we're going to divide that by x plus 2. Alright, so I'm going to do this one since that's a 1x to the first that I'm dividing by. I can do synthetic division. I'm going to do that second. I'm going to go ahead and do this one again both ways. So x plus 2 is going to go outside my box. I'm doing long division right now. Now, inside the box, check this out when you write it down. You got a 4x cubed, a 0x squared. Got to put them all in there. A positive 3x and a negative 8. That's what I was saying earlier. If it's missing one of the powers, you got to put a 0 in that spot. Okay? Alright. So x times what gets you 4x cubed? 4x squared is correct. Now we take that 4x squared and we distribute it to the x and the 2. 4x squared times x is 4x cubed.
Going back up a step, you did the x times square it.
X times what got me 4x cubed. That's where the 4x
Okay, yes.
squared came from. Okay, then we distributed that to the x, got 4x cubed. Now 4x squared times 2 be 8x squared. So we're subtracting. 4x cubed minus 4x cubed is nothing. 0x squared minus 8x squared is negative 8x squared. Now I'm going to just drop down the 3x, positive 3x, and now I got to start all over again. Now I'm saying x times what gets me negative 8x squared? Negative 8x, good. So now we distribute negative 8x to both of those. Negative 8x times x is negative 8x squared. Negative 8x times 2 is negative 16x. We're subtracting again. Negative 8x squared minus negative 8x squared is nothing. 3x minus negative 16x is a 19x. And I've got a negative 8 over here to bring down.
Okay. So you just continue.
Yep, just added another level on it. Okay, so our last time here, x times what gets me 19x? 19, so we put a 19 there. 19 times x is 19x. 19 times 2 is 38. So we subtract. 19x minus 19x is nothing. Negative 8 minus 38 is negative 46, isn't it? Alright, so we got a remainder this time. Austin.
How did you get the 8x squared on the second step or on the first step? Up one. Down. Right there.
Right there. 4x squared times 2.
Okay.
So we distribute it to both of them. Alright, now when we write our answer, when we got a remainder, when you were a little taught and you did long division, you got to put a big capital R with a negative 46. You don't get to do that now. Okay? So we take what we had on top. So I'm going to say 4x squared minus 8x plus 19. And then since my remainder is negative, I'm going to say minus, and you put your remainder over what you divided by. That's your answer. If my remainder would have been a positive, I'd have put plus, but it was a negative, so I put minus.
Squared, okay. And you got the 16, negative 16.
Can I not listen to the other way you do it?
From the, hold on, negative 8 times 2.
Okay.
The other way is way easier, Katie, but that's okay.
Yeah, I know, but I don't get it all.
How do you know when you can't do it?
When what you're dividing by, like right here, we were dividing by 1x to the first. If that had been x to the second, I can't do it.
I'm going to need some practice.
Alright, I'm going to do that same problem now the other way. Okay?
Let's try.
Figure out what you need on that page. Alright, let me write the problem again here. 4x cubed plus 3x minus 8. We're dividing that by x plus 2. Alright. Alright, so I've got a 4x cubed, and I still have to do zeros in synthetic division. A 4x cubed, a 0x squared, a 3x, and a negative 8. Now, good, Austin's already telling me what I'm going to put outside the box over there. If I take that x plus 2 and set that equal to 0, bless you, it gives me a negative 2 to divide by. Okay, drop your 4. Multiply what's outside. 4 times negative 2 is negative 8. Put it underneath, and then you add. 0 plus negative 8 is negative 8. Now I got a negative 8 to multiply. Negative 8 times negative 2 is 16. And then you add. 3 and 16 is 19. Now I got a 19 to multiply. 19 times negative 2 is negative 38. You add negative 8 plus negative 38 is negative 46. So you're done. All you got to do now is write your answer. The problem started off as a 4x cubed, which means my first number is 1 power less than that. So my 4 is a 4x squared, and then they just go downhill. Minus 8x to the first, my constant of 19, and the last thing is always my remainder over what I divided by. It's the exact same answer, isn't it?
Wait. Okay, so why would you put just a negative 2 under it?
Well, this was actually the problem. You got to go back to the problem.
That's what I said.
Yeah,
But there will be questions where we have to use long division on the test.
probably.
See, last year I understood this way a whole lot. I just never knew like long division.
Now you're getting them both.
My senior year, I thought.
My senior year, now I still don't know.
Yeah, I know two.
I think women in racing can say this.
I have one of those.
Alright, I'm gonna let you try one. You can do it either way you want. I'll give you one that can be done either way.
Try.
I've got x squared plus 2x minus 35 divided by x minus 5. That one will work either way with synthetic or long division, either one. So try that and go.
X is equal to 1, right?
It's like a 1x, yeah.
How do you know if to subtract or add on the second way? On the synthetic way?
Synthetic, it's always add. Long division, it's always subtract. Synthetic, it's always add.
Always. On the one before that, we subtracted on the first one.
It might have just been the signs that made it look like that. Were we?
You said subtract, so I was saying what it is. But it's just because there's a negative.
So that would have been 0 minus 8. Yeah, because it was a negative. I said that funny. Good job. Yeah.
So smart.
Okay, I didn't know.
It's okay, just.
See?
Hold on, let me do it.
You wrote the problem out, I'll just start now.
Oh. One side screwed me up. Okay, well now I'm gonna need extra time.
2 minus negative 5 is not negative 3.
Oh. See, simple mistakes.
Pretty good.
My mom's like obsessed with this. So every time like Halloween comes around, she'll go buy like a whole bunch of candy corn and a whole bunch of peanuts and like mix it all in one bowl.
I wouldn't imagine the peanuts having that much of a flavor in them, but they do. That's good.
Because I don't like candy corn by itself, but it makes it with peanut. I like it.
Oh.
you're gonna show me something.
Yeah, after I did all that. Okay, now it's out of my.
Yes.
Hey, then why did I get a profile? I didn't know.
Well, this was too close. So let's see why you did.
I like
Andrew
it.
was doing
Two minus negative Alright. Saw different ones doing it both ways, so I'm going to run through it both ways real quick. If I do the long division, this one's a pretty straightforward one either way. It won't take us long to do that. If I do the long division, I don't need any zeros. I've got everything covered. X times what gets me x squared? X. So then I distribute an x to both of them. X times x is x squared. X times negative 5 is negative 5x. Now when you subtract on long division. X squared minus x squared is nothing. 2x minus negative 5x is a positive 7x. Drop your negative 35. X times what is 7x? A positive 7. 7 times x, 7 times negative 5. So this one did not have a remainder. Okay, if you did it with synthetic division, you would have had a 1x squared, a 2x, a negative 35, and then you would have had a positive 5 outside the box. Drop your 1. 1 times 5 is 5. Add and got 7. 7 times 5 is 35. Add and got 0. Started off an x squared, so mine is 1 power less than that, 1x plus 7.
Dang, got it.
Same answer either way. That was pretty easy. Alright, let's do one more that is a little bit longer. I thought you'd like that. Let's do 3. I don't know what I was writing right there. Let's do 3x to the 4th plus 5x cubed. This one will have to be long. 5x cubed.
Oh, it has to be long.
8x minus 8x squared minus 13x
I'll just do try.
plus 2 divided by x squared minus 5. Alright, this one has to be long division because we're dividing by a power of 2. Okay, now, when I go to set this up, though, what I'm dividing by, x squared minus 5, it's missing an x to the first. So even outside the box, you got to put a 0. So outside the box, I'm going to have x squared plus 0x minus 5. And then inside the box, 4, 3, 2, 1, nothing. I'm not missing anything inside, so I don't need any zeros inside. Alright, we get started here by saying x, whoa, that's an interesting word. Crayon. Okay. Saying x squared times what is 3x to the 4th?
3x squared.
3x squared. And you can put that anywhere you want on the top. I always put it over its like term, but it doesn't matter. Alright, distribute 3x squared to all 3 of these. So 3x squared times x squared is 3x to the 4th. 3x squared times 0x, that is 0, but I'm going to go ahead and put a 0x cubed just so I've got like terms lined up there. And then 3x squared times negative 5 is negative 15x squared. Subtract 3x to the 4th minus 3x to the 4th is nothing. 5x cubed minus 0x cubed is 5x cubed. Be careful with signs here. Negative 8 minus negative 15. It's positive 7. Alright, I've got 2 pieces here, but outside there's 3, so I'm just going to drop down the next one, minus 13x. Okay, then we start all over again. X squared times what gets me 5x cubed? Whoa. 5x, what y'all said? That's correct. So I'll distribute 5x to all 3 of those pieces. I got 5x cubed, 0x squared, minus 25x. Subtract. Nothing. 7 minus 0, 7x squared. Negative 13 minus negative 25. Is that 8? Confirmed? I think it's 8.
Alright,
I think it's 12.
12. Woo! It's only 4 off. Thank y'all. That'd have been bad. 12x, and now I need one more, so I'm dropping down that last little 2 up there. Got one more time to check here. X squared times what gets me 7x squared?
7.
7, so we put a positive 7 to distribute. 7 times x squared. 7 times 0x. And 7 times negative 5. Okay, subtract. So I see I'm going to have a remainder here. 7x squared by 7x squared is nothing. 12x minus 0x is 12x. 2 minus negative 35 is a positive 37. Nothing left to bring down. And x squared won't go into x, so that's your remainder. So my answer, all right over here on the left, is 3x squared plus 5x plus 7 plus 12x plus 37 over. And I can leave the 0 out now if I want to, so I'm going to. You can still put the 0x in there if you want. That's it. Long division. Everybody loves long division.
Okay, so why did you put the 7x squared down there?
Why did I put 7x squared down there? Oh, because 7 times x. This one or the top one or the
Yeah,
bottom?
the top one.
7x squared minus 0.
Okay. So you just distribute and try to get the first one? You got 37 over the original.
Yep. Alright, tomorrow we're going to look at an assignment. Okay, then Monday, Tuesday next week, study guide, Wednesday test. That's the plan. Might get it modified a little bit, but that's the plan.
So, if we want beer tomorrow, we need to make that. I would like, we can do and I have to make up the money for,
Very busy.
I know.
Remember the motion?
Yes, sir.
So like I kept waiting.